What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. I'm a big fan of hockey. I grew up in Canada after all, and when it comes to Canadian patriots out of the hockey league, one of the great ones that's always named is Wayne Gretzky. And Wayne, of course, coming under attack from the woke mob. We're going to get into that today, but I can tell you as a kid growing up, I've always told my dear friend Theo Fleury that not only was he one of my idols growing up, I wanted to be just like Theo on the ice, but Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Marc Messier. You think of some of the greats that played hockey during that time. Of course, I grew up in Winnipeg, where you had Bob Essensa, you had Teemu Selanne, Ty Domi, Dale Hawerchuk, all these great hockey players around that time. And I know I've missed some. People are going to say, hey, you forgot these guys. Listen, we're not going to go into memory lane here, but what's important to recognize is that Canada has always been hockey's game, especially when you look at the patriotism from the greats like Don Cherry. Wayne Gretzky now coming under attack because people have Trump derangement syndrome. And it's not only the booing of our national or the American national anthem that's going on, that's disgraceful, but now Canadians completely stockpiling up on Wayne Gretzky. I want to share with you this petition that's come out. YEG Wave tweeting it out. A petition to rename Wayne Gretzky Drive in Edmonton has gathered over 11,000 signatures questioning his loyalty to Canada. Suggested alternatives include Terry Fox Drive and Joey Moss Drive. This is disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. You guys, I hope people realize that Wayne Gretzky holds the Order of Canada, right? Like, this guy is a true Canadian through and through. And simply because he keeps the company of Donald Trump, people want his name stricken from Canada. We've seen this with Sir John A. Macdonald. We've seen this with other leaders across Canada. Now it's currently living sports figures that, hey, we got to scrub them from history. We've got to make sure that nobody knows they exist. They're traitors to this country. Give me a break. He's a hockey player. This is where we've got. I mean, it doesn't shock me coming from a city like Edmonton that is full of spendy petards, woke leftists. And I know there's good people in Edmonton, but those 11,000 people that have signed this signature should pack up and leave. Get out. In fact, they should be removed from Canada, not Wayne Gretzky. That's my personal opinion. You can see down here, the frustration mounts on social media. Is not a single person who is complaining about Wayne Gretzky comes remotely close to what he's done for Canada. In fact, not even all of them combined. The man proudly waved the flag for years, and now you're on your soapbox for a gotcha moment. Pathetic. I mean, people saying he's iconic. He should have come out in Canadian colors, bottom line, end of story. None of this would have happened if that occurred. I blame the organizers and Wayne for not making it happen. Mike Enzoni did it right. I know I pronounced that incorrectly. Why didn't our guy? This guy saying just because he wasn't dropped in Canadian doesn't mean he's not our side or supports us for any less. Bit of a reach. I mean, what they're talking about essentially is during the Canada-USA game, keep in mind, Wayne Gretzky actually went into the dressing room to speak with Team Canada before the game. So those saying he doesn't care about Canada, give me a break. I can't even believe I have to defend this. What's funny is while this is going on, you've got idiots supporting Mike Myers. You guys remember Mike Myers? Now, albeit he appeared on Saturday Night Live this last week, the getup of looking like Elon Musk, I mean, it kind of fits. I mean, I'm not going to shoot that down. Good impression. However, not funny. Mike Myers, again, just like Wayne Gretzky as a kid, I enjoyed Mike Myers. I remember being a kid, rushing to theaters to see Wayne's World, Austin Powers, you name it. The guy's got an amazing legacy when it comes to cinema. But Mike Myers showing how woke he is, and it's not because he made fun of Elon Musk. But you can see the turmoil being generated online when it says one of the greatest Canadians playing one of the worst Canadians. Keep in mind that people have also said that Elon Musk should lose Canadian citizenship. I'm not even sure if he has Canadian citizenship. I know he was born or lived in Canada at one point. But I don't, or his mother was Canadian, something along those lines. But really, guys, this is what we're doing online now. This is the rhetoric. This is what affects our elections going into the next federal election. is that people who are so butthurt by little things online sways a vote. It has nothing to do with policy. It has nothing to do with what a political leader is going to do. This is where we're at. But he not only portrayed Elon Musk and made jokes about Elon Musk, but he comes out at the end with a Canada is not for sale shirt. Mike Myers. Now, this is my tweet that I put out. LOL, from a Canadian who made his fortune and lives in the United States. Excuse me, Mr. Myers, sir. In the dictionary under redundant, it says see redundant. I mean, this guy lives in America, has lived in his America since his as far as I know, his early 20s. Made his claim to fame there, still lives there. And he wants to grandstand for Canada? How about you give up everything you got in America and come back to Canada, Mike, and we'll take you seriously. Absolutely appalling that this is what we get from Mike Myers. Like, this is the virtue signaling I just can't stand. Not all's lost with Wayne Gretzky, however. You can see here, Alberta Premier, the only person in Canada who seems to have a set of testicular fortitude these days, coming out to defend Wayne Gretzky. Watch Premier Smith defends Wayne Gretzky after the Great One came under fire for support of President Trump. Let's take a look.
A public response to Wayne Gretzky. And I'm wondering what you make of, it seems to have struck a nerve with his apparent support for President Trump and lack to stand up to the 51st Day comments. So what do you make of the public conversation over that right now?
The Great One. My family, I always had to admit, even though I spent most of my life in Calgary, we were an Oilers family growing up. So I love the Great One. And I think that's unfortunate. I think people expected that rather than wearing a suit, which I think he looked perfectly fine in, that he should have worn a Canadian jersey. I think Bobby Orr has stood up in defense of him. I mean, let's remember Wayne for the incredible legacy and pride that he brought to the Edmonton Oilers. I think that sometimes the social media sphere can get a little bit mean, but I don't think it detracts from his legacy at all.
It doesn't detract from his legacy at all. This is where our country is that now a lot of people, and listen, I've got friends who said during that hockey game that, hey, you know what? It's Canada, USA. We haven't seen the rivalry like this since the 80s. I mean, it's good at the same time. I don't think it is. I think, again, if we're going to get ahead in the next election, if we're going to fix our country, part of that means understanding what true Canadian patriotism is and not going onto social media to blast people for showing support of another. I mean, what have we become in Canada? Did you ever think we'd get to a point people were calling for the cancellation of Wayne Gretzky, the Great One? I don't. Let me know what you guys think down below. I mean, this is sad, beyond sad. If anything, I think it makes Canadians look even worse. I don't believe that those calling for his cancellation are true Canadians. I really don't believe those who want this cancellation or that are mad at Wayne Gretzky truly understand what they're talking about. But again, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure to leave a thumbs up and a comment on the way out. It helps push the video out in the algorithm and tell people that, hey, this is worth watching. So make sure to do that, folks. If you enjoyed the video, again, click your bell for notifications. Join me live here on the channel each and every Friday night for Friday Night Fringe, our live streaming show where we talk about everything that's happened in the past week in politics, everything that's coming up in the week ahead, as well as back and forth throughout the greatest YouTube community on the platform, joined by the very beautiful Mrs. Fringe. We look forward to hearing what you guys have to say outside of making these videos, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say this Friday, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, here on the channel. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.